Right, that was Real Madrid, of course, at the Club World Cup yesterday. No, yesterday, and it was quite an interesting match, of course. I don't know if Mary saw it, but Mary's here with me. Hello, Mary. You're welcome.
I'm very well.
Which of the matches did you watch when it comes to Club World Cup?
So funny thing is, I didn't watch any yesterday because I was so busy.
The timing, when it comes to the time zones, and that's what a number of people have complained about when it comes to this competition.
Yes.
In the US alone as a country has 4 time zones, right, normally. And
so by the time you're trying to catch up with this one, it's actually a different time zone.
But
I tried to watch recap, but I've not seen the recap.
And then, but the funny thing was how, the heat there, because now they're taking cooling breaks. So if you notice that in between, so it's more or less like now, in basketball you have quarters. Oh, by the way, big shout out to OKC for winning, this thing. Playoffs and all of that after Game 7.
And big shout out to Kevin Durant. Welcome to Houston Rockets. I'm so excited. I'm a huge fan of Houston Rockets. I'm happy Kevin Durant has joined us.
All right, but then there's been those breaks in between halves where they're taking cooling breaks, and there's that talk about how the European teams are being affected because of the heat.
Yes.
And the South American teams are, up until I think it was Bayern Munich defeating Boca. The South American teams had not lost. They were winning and, having the draws and all of that. It's more or less that the question now becomes that cash grab that Gianni Infantino, president of FIFA, has put together. That cash grab, is it worth it? This season, a number of other players are on break now. Now these ones are basically going to play. They have to play for maybe 2 or 3 more weeks and all of that. Is it worth it for the cash that is being involved? Even there's quite a lot of cash.
Yes.
Is it worth it playing this competition?
There's actually quite a lot of cash, and it's supposed to be among the, in quotes, best teams in the world. However, let's also keep in mind that it's not, there were talks about players complaining and even coaches and all, that this is going to put more pressure on the players, because this is usually the time they get to relax and recalibrate in preparation for the next season. But that is not going to work anymore, because they are going to literally walk through their holidays and maybe get a couple of weeks before the new season starts. So that is bad on its own. Then this issue of heat, it's always been like that when you switch environments. For an African going to play in a snowy place, for example, it's a challenge. Going to play in this is summer more or less. So it's understandable that there is going to be very hot. It's also part of it. So, life is funny. I'll use that expression, because you're told as an African when you go to a place with a different weather that you should prepare yourself, you should do this. I would expect that they were also prepared for it. And even if you're not ready for it, I believe it will probably help them have more empathy towards people from other regions, tropical regions that
in some
come
matches,
to their places.
The substitutes, rather than staying on the bench because of the sun, they went into the dressing room
to stay cool,
to watch.
Yeah.
They stayed inside the dressing room. Yeah. Qatar hosted the World Cup in very hot conditions, but they did all they could in the stadiums.
Yes,
technology was advanced. You sit down on the chair, you could turn on cooling for yourself.
Yeah.
On different, they had fans across they had even AC stadiums and all of that. They pushed technology, but that is not happening in the US at this particular point in time.
America assumed, people should know how the heat is here. And it doesn't work that way. Their heat might not be as bad as Qatar, but there's no changing the fact that it's quite hot.
All right, let me just rush through other scorelines. Manchester City defeated Al Ain 6-0. Salzburg and Al Hilal played out a goalless draw. Of course, Real Madrid with a red card defeated Pachuca 3-1. Juventus defeated Wydad Casablanca of Morocco. It was 4-1. River Plate and Monterrey played out a goalless draw. Fluminense defeated Ulsan Hyundai of Korea 4-2.
We thought we'd be able to talk further on the. You said I should not use defection.
No, we'll talk about it some other time. Maybe across the week, because there's still more to break down on that particular one. All right, thank you, Mary. Now that's it. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. Still more to come on the show.